Hey, what is up guys? T-Daisy coming back with another World of Tanks video review. As stated in one of my previous videos, I pretty much decided to take it upon myself and go up the Japanese heavy tank line. Now we're going to be starting at tier 5 pretty much on the OI experimental tank, which really is a super heavy, just behemoth rolling bunker type tank that pretty much starts the playstyle for the whole line. Now the reason why I chose to start at tier 5 is that's really where it really starts, other than the Type 95, which really isn't even a heavy tank, and the Type 91 also, in my opinion. It really starts to get into the bulk of the gameplay being like the tier 10 at the tier 5 level. That being said, the OI experimental is pretty much the start of where we're going to begin, and really just a great tank overall. Alright, so to begin, what makes this tank special? And to be quite flat out honest, not much. As you can see here, its top speed is a little bit above average for such a big tank. It does weigh just over 100 tons, so the ramming capability of this tank is nothing short of spectacular. It's comparable to like an E100 or say like a E50M, I guess. In hybrid sense, I don't know, but the engine power on this tank is really good. I have not even upgraded the engine, as you guys can see here. So the tier 6 engine, and the tier 7 has another 100 horsepower. Now the reason why I have not researched this yet is because I want to get it on the tier 6, which is the OI. If you check out here, the engine that I'm going to be researching next pretty much carries on wow, all the way till tier 9, as you can see here, and then the tier 10 has a whole separate what was it, a modified engine with still 1200 horsepower. So the truth of this tank is that it's a very iffy playstyle. You're always going to be targeted by artillery. You're always going to be getting shot in the sides because you're just a massive rolling bunker. But in retrospect, it does have very good armor at tier 5. It has a good angling capability, lots of side scraping capability, and its gun is just so good. I like to think of it almost like a better BDR type gun, because it is 105 millimeters, and you can see here that it has 300 alpha. Rate of fire is up there too. Has like a 7-second reload, 8-second reload, and its average penetration, with AP and even gold AP, it really isn't that bad at tier 5. So the reason why I really want to review this tank is because it outputs damage, and you just get so much XP in it. Now, if we look at the other stats, its hit point pool is very good at tier 5, which is 700 hit points. I think it only gets one turret, yep. And so pretty much you're going to be at 700 hit points. You have a top speed, like I said, of 40 kilometers an hour. Traverse speed, obviously, is going to be absolutely abysmal at 24 kilometers an hour, or degrees per second, sorry. And really, since you're such a big tank, if you can see here, this is this tank, and then I'll compare it to the mouse. It is bigger than a mouse. So if you see this, look at that. It's pretty much a little bit shorter, but it's wider than the mouse. So if you look like this, and I go to Japan, look, it's wider than a mouse. So you're not going to be fitting through very thin corridors. You're going to be side scraping a lot, especially with the sheet armor on the side, which for some odd reason has like handles on it. Looks like a friggin' drawer, like in your bedroom. But other than that, its shell damage, like I said, is very good. 300 alpha. Penetration is good. Rate of fire is good. Turret traverse speed and the turret armor is very flat. You can see there, pretty much all armor on this tank is flat. And even though these things look like weak spots, they're still not that weak. They do have around 80 millimeters of armor, except for the top here and the little hat on this guy. But the back of the tank also, like I said, very flat. There is sort of angling, but you really want to angle almost at like 30-40 degrees and really bounce a lot of shots there. So if we look at crew skills, I had just purchased this tank. I already have 22,000 XP on it, and I can really research tier 6. But I want to get to one skill first, so I could increase that with some XP, which I may do in the future. But you can see that I have taken an extra radio operator, and he's not even at 100 yet. So ideally, for crew skills, which we'll do real quick, you want to get 6 Sense and hopefully get some other on-the-move driving shot or traverse or anything like that for a heavy tank. Now, if we look here, we are on a little bit of a discount right now, so you guys can go ahead and retrain them to 100% if you buy this tank right away for less gold. But you can see here that the snapshot, I like having that on the gunner. Then we do repair. I'm doing safe stowage because this tank's ammo racks are not the best because it is a Japanese tank. Repair on the other loader, and then we have No skills on this guy so far, so we'll get him up to 100 and reset. And radio operator probably do repairs. So ideally, you want to do things that are on the move shooting, anything with traverse like off-road driving. So I just have snapshot, smooth ride, and then I'm gonna do repairs obviously next once I get 6 cents and save stowage. And then this guy will also be repairs. Now obviously camouflage is a no-go on this tank because this camo is terrible because it's such a big tank. And really just anything that aids towards shooting because it does have large dispersion while traversing and moving your turret. Anything that aids towards accuracy, anything that aims towards traverse speed. View range and signal range isn't an issue because a heavy tank can be right in the face of the enemy. And really, you know, camo obviously not. So repairs and anything that helps with gun handling or shooting on the move. So if we look at loadouts, I only have a rammer on it right now, but we're actually going to go ahead and purchase. Where is it? Can this mount a vert stab? Apparently it cannot mount a vertical stabilizer. I think that's why I don't have it, because it is only a tier 5 tank. Once we get up to tier 10, tier 7, tier 8, tier 9, you can mount that. So I'll probably do a vert stab and a gunline drive, possibly vents. Spall liner, in my opinion, is not really worth it because you already have good sheet armor, and that'll half the spaced armor will half the HE damage right away. And pretty much let's get into some gameplay, guys. As far as it goes for module research and shell loadouts, I don't run any gold in this tank. It's not really you know, worth it in my opinion. It's not that it's expensive. It's that you only get like 30 more pen, and you know, it's just another AP shell. So it's not like you get better shell velocity with APCR heat mechanics. It's really just another AP shell. So it's almost like an SU-100Y or like a low tier Japanese tank. It's really just negligible. So consumables, obviously, we're gonna run a small repair kit, small first aid kit, automatic fire extinguisher. You guys can run a consumable here, but due to the huge ass hitboxes on this tank, I don't really want to risk getting a fire. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll go to the tech tree and show you guys a little preview of what we're gonna do next. So I completely free XP'd up the tier 5, didn't play any of the other tanks. Next I'm gonna research the engine, or the tier 6, and then I'm gonna get the engine right away. And then I will free XP the howitzer, which pretty much makes the next tank, which are going to be the OI, obviously the non-experimental version, the final product of this OI experimental, is pretty much like a Japanese KV2. Has a 15 centimeter, you know, 150 caliber or 150 millimeter derp cannon. So we'll do that next and show the HE and all that stuff. So let's get in some gameplay. Alright, so first gameplay is going to be a replay of something that was really fun. You'll see later in this replay that things get a little bit hilarious, and that'll lead up into the next part of the video. But as stated, very good tank as top tier. Tier 7, it's kind of iffy, this OI experimental, because you do have a good enough gun. It's just your HP pool as good at tier 5. It sucks at tier 7, and I really wanted to showcase it in a game that it was, you know, obviously top tank. So in this particular game, it's on Himmelsdorf. You know, the tank is just shines on Himmelsdorf because it's a fucking super heavy that just sits around on corridors, side scrapes, and derps tanks. I'm able to get 2 kills really right away at the beginning of this game, and its alpha is just so good that you could literally, especially with the tier 3 to 5 matchmaker spread, it could hold its own against like 7 tanks because you've got decent enough bouncy armor, and you could literally just derp tanks and one-shot most of them. Like if I wanted to team kill that PZA right there, I could just like aim down, go like derp, and he'd die because 300, what is it, 300 alpha or 330 alpha? Yeah, 300 alpha is just so, it's almost like the bathtub S30 Soma 5 whatever tank, that French tier 5 tank destroyer. It literally has that sort of gun, but it has an 8-second reload instead of like 14, and it has decent enough handling. So I'm able to just sit up here, and I kind of oversized scrape because I kind of drove into the mounds, but if you see all, you guys could see in chat that one shot that Type 91, which is tier 4 heavy, but that KV1's just from the start of the game pretty much saying, oh yeah, easy game guys. KV1 outguns OI experimental easily. I'm just chill with it, you know. I'm like, yeah, we'll see, buddy. You know, it's a game. And everyone, even the guys on this team, are like one shots KV1, and it's just funny because just players like him are just like, I don't know, they're just full of themselves or whatever you want to call it.
conceited, overconfident. I don't know. It's more the mere fact that he got top tank and he's like, yeah, I'm going against this TDC scope confirmed guy. Yeah. So he spots me there, but I pretty much come out and he actually shells the side of my tank. I take a shot at him and it goes down into the car and explodes. So I think I take one more shot at him. And look at him, he's just trash talking. He's like, LOL, nice miss. Oh. And it's kind of comical because I still have pretty much the same amount of hit points as him. And at the same time, his team is getting obliterated no matter where they're going. And he's just sitting here typing in chat. I mean, I'm side scraping, trying to really just bait him out. Because I've already done enough damage to really get probably like 400 XP for this game. And you can see here the stuff comes out. I get a pretty good roll on him. I was hoping to one-shot him, but that would be a high average roll. But I get shot from the KV-1, Stug's looking at me, so I decide, let me back the hell out of here. I will bait them into this TD that's behind me. We've got an artillery down there. We've also got a medium directly to my west and the G line, which is a dirt PZ4. So if he comes around, he's going to get permatracked, and he's just going to get obliterated. And you can see wow, that was a bounce. But he gets way overconfident in this KV-1. He's like yelling at me, oh, he's hiding. And to be honest, this tank is really, really, really good at tier 5. One of the better tier 5 heavies I played if there's no real annoying artillery like the LEFH or FV304 if you're in a tier 6 game. But here he comes! Oh, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. No. So he's got his turret turned sideways. At least he's smart enough to know not to peek his turret out. But in the same time, he's just peeking his tread out, and I could really shoot him at any point. So I decide, look, let me back up. Let me get a better angle on him. There's a little bar there, but once he comes out, I can just perma-track him. So that's exactly what I do. A nice roll of 329, and you can tell that he doesn't his turret's not mounted far front enough, so he can't see me. And look at this. I just have a higher reload than his track repair time. He obviously doesn't have any crew skills, and that 8-second reload just it already perma-tracks him again. He turns his turret and rip. So it's just like, why trash talk when you know you're gonna get wrecked by a semi-experienced tanker? Whatever. But nonetheless, back to the part of showcasing this tank. You can see it has enough, especially for heavy tanks, it has enough DPM to really just take him out. It has enough alpha to kill lower tier tanks. I just really don't see what's wrong with this tank at tier 5. At tier 6, it could hold itself against some tanks like the KV-85 if you trade shots while you have your HP pool. They'll pen you, obviously, because your armor isn't the best, but at the same time, it's got such good alpha. This tank's gun is what makes it shine so much. You really don't have like minuscule, ability of moving throughout the map. I mean, it's not like a T95. You can see here that I'm going like 30 and I'm typing at the same time, so I'm not really paying attention, but like it does go 35 on a flat. You'll see in the next part of the video, hopefully another replay, that it could hit, I think I've hit 56 downhill, and it really isn't governed downhill. So if you're on a flat, it governs at like around 40 at speed limit. But I've rammed tanks at like 50 kilometers an hour and just killed them in one shot because this thing does weigh 100 tons. So it's literally like a mouse. It's just the Japanese tanks at the higher tiers, they become more situational. But at tier 5, the OI Experimental really isn't anything to laugh at. It's a pretty decent tank. The only thing that really gets annoying is you have no camo. So you're normally perpetually spotted, especially on huge-ass maps like Prokhorovka or something where you don't have any hard artillery cover. You just get shelled out because look how big this tank is. Its silhouette is just massive. So you really just get killed by it every time, the artillery. And I mean, that's literally like 80% of my deaths are just artillery splashing you or hitting you or penning you. But in the end, this is just a great tank, and we'll have hopefully I can showcase or get a replay that has like a tier 7 or a few tier 6 tanks in the game, and we can really show you it going against higher tiers. But at its own tier, it's literally one of the best heavies in my opinion. It outguns the KV-1, as you'll see next. As that, I don't know where that shot went. But you'll see, literally, the KV-1 said he would invite me to a training room. So we'll have that in the next part of the battle, is just trolling the hell out of him in the training room, which is really just going to be a fun part of this video, just to add you guys in some lulz. So, yep, stay tuned. Alright, so as the after battle reports state, pretty much this tank just racks in XP. I mean, the grind really isn't anything, of any hard nature. It's pretty simple, actually. I got Fire for effect, got high caliber, mastery badge, second class. You can see that I only fired 10 times, pen 6, you know, a few misses there, especially that one at the end. And I did like almost 1500 damage, so this tank's alpha is nothing to really laugh at. Alpha was enough to one-shot pretty much 2 tanks you saw at the beginning there. I outplayed that KV-1, who was really just being a nuisance the whole game with the trash talk. Just really satisfying just to shut him up that way. And he really didn't shut up at the end, so I guess I never shut him up. But other than that, you know, it's really fun. Oh, there you go, training room. We'll probably check that out after and make a video on that. 29,000 credits, just a good overall XP. And now I have enough to research the tier 6 tank. So what we'll do is we'll probably have one more replay for you guys, and then you know, research tier 6 tank. We'll free XP the derp cannon and get on that review next. Alright, so this idiot in that clan actually invited me to that 1v1 training room. And just for Christ's sake, I showed him like 10 tier 10s. I'm like, dude, go in any tank you want. And what do you know? He only has a KV2 as his highest fucking tank. So he goes in that, and I pretty much just go, yo, I'll just go in my 430. I don't care. So pretty much, I'm just laughing my ass off. I decide to troll the hell out of him. I only fire AG at him. And really, it was one of the most satisfying things. I mean, I'll show you the next replay next, but like, I just don't get why people do it. I mean, I'm calling him out in this video, but it's almost comical because I was just not taking it seriously. I'm like, okay, all right, just invite me to a training room. And he's like, yeah, dude, the KV-1 outguns the OI experimental. And I mean, hey guys, if you want to get the OI experimental, I mean, it's good for like 1v1s against KV-1s in training battles, because I mean, you get scrubs like this who legit just challenge you to them. So little, you know, Easter egg in this video review, you know, something that just happened while I was making the video. It's great. I mean, his KV-2 is blind, so he doesn't even spot me there. And I pretty much just load up HE and just shell him away. But I mean, this is just so fun because I was literally making the video and it happened to be in the replay that I was using. And it really just, oh my god, this is great. This is like the 5th time this has happened, especially when I put it up on YouTube. Normally they end up seeing it and they get butthurt, and I just don't give a fuck. Look at him, he's not even turning. Like, I'll let him shoot me here, but I just want to track him and just circle the hell out of him. Now, I'm letting him get shots at the beginning. I mean, I'm just derping the hell out of him with HE. And he's not even using the derp cannon. He's just using the 107 with the stock turret, so we can just shell him out. And I mean, that thing has better DPM, and if he was to derp me, he could technically sort of have a chance. And that's weird how he just penned me in the top of the turret with that tank. But, you know, other than that, I'm just pretty much just toying around with him. I'm just, for the lulz, letting him shoot me. Like, I could well circle him, and gun depression is hard. I could just circle him and just, you know, toy with him, but right now I'm really just derping around and sort of circling him, but at the same time I'm just hitting his tracks so he can't move. Oh my god, and the end of this video is great. I leave him with like, I think like 16 health, and I just ram the shit out of him. I mean, I honestly think I have, you know, it's just so fun. Like, I taunted him a little bit there, but like, just these scrubs in these pubs that just come out of nowhere and they're like, yeah, dude, you're so bad, whoa. And like, look at this, I'm just, you can't even pen me. Like, what are you doing, buddy? And that's pretty much that. I mean, that's the first game. I'll put up the replay of when I actually outgunned him in the OI experimental, because he was like trash talking, saying, yeah, the KV-1's better. When in retrospect, the KV-1 maybe with the 57mm with good DPM could kill it, but it just has too much HP and alpha for the KV-1 to really take it head on. I mean, if you're shelling out gold and have a better position on a map, but 1v1, especially Himmelsdorf, OI experimental is going to win every time. So, I mean, we'll show that up, and then we'll get right back to the review. This is just so fun. Okay, so part 2 of the pub madness. I mean, he invites me back to the training room, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do it. I'll play you in my OI experimental, bruh. Yeah, blaze it, woo! And he's like, okay, I'll take you on my KV-1, yeah. So, fucking pubs, mouth breathers, window lickers, whatever you want to call them. Like, I mean, if you have time to spare, and you want to get this tank and take him 1v1 in a Himmelsdorf 1v1, be my pleasure, or be my guest. It's my pleasure to, you know, refer me. I don't give a fuck. So, I mean, legit, he's, oh my god. Now he starts, like, saying that I have higher tier tanks and he knows that I'm a good player and he like apologizes, but I really don't want to bury the hatchet yet. I really just want to fuck with him and actually show him that this tank is good, and hopefully it will shut him up in the future, you know, especially when going against sort of experienced tankers like myself. I mean, if I'm going against a guy in like Chai Clan or like Thugs or like Otter, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose even if he's in a worse tank. But in my opinion, against a sort of, you know, pub like this, he's in a clan, but by no means is he any sort of decent player. Just take a pot shot. Obviously, he's not gonna land. And at this point, I want to engage at range because, like I said, my armor isn't the best straight on, but you can see he whiffs there, so I'm able to just take advantage of it. And he does. I mean, at least he's, you know, quality of a player to at least know what side scraping is, because legitimately if he didn't know that, I would just rush him and derp the hell out of him. But he actually kind of knows what he's doing, and he's trying to angle the turret, but I mean, this tank just has too much pen for that, so especially in a tier 5 heavy v heavy, it's just not worth it. So I bait a shot out here from him, and I'm like, you just want to legit bounce me. So he's on his reload, but by the time I get up here, I bait him out with a shot, but he ends up, I think, getting spotted. But yeah, there he goes. He comes out because I bait him with that shot and he thinks I'm reloading. But to be honest, I just go full-fledged, fuck it. I have 700 hit points. I got a pretty decent roll on the first one. I could one-shot him. But the truth of the matter is, he starts retreating, which now he doesn't have the gun depression to hit me. I just hit him right in the driver's port. I think I actually got a crit on that or something because he just whiffs that shot. And here's the part where I'm like, oh, let me just toy with him. I can try and, he's using the 76, so I'm like, I could just ram him, but that doesn't work, so I just derp him in the turret, and down he goes. I mean, I could have done that without taking any damage, but I really didn't care, and I just wanted to shut this kid up. But, you know, in retrospect, it was fun. I'm not like mad or anything. I was just like, why do people do this? And it's so fun because you just get to fuck with them, and then you get to put it on YouTube because, yeah. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this is just a little fun thing that happened to happen, especially when I'm making a video. So why not put it in, you know, give you guys some lols and get those upvotes. So yeah, I'll pretty much, I might have one extra replay. It depends what I get and whether I want to research the next tank yet. But yeah, stay tuned in the video, and then we'll have to have some closing thoughts later. Alright, so in the end, I wasn't able to get a tier 7 gameplay or a tier 6 because every time I got into a higher tiered game, I'd get shelled out by artillery as I'm getting to the battle, or it's just a shit fest where my team would die, I'd carry as much as I can, and it just, you know, we'd lose. But I don't want to showcase the loss in this tank, but what I will showcase and really show you guys is that I'm not going to waste any time with this tank. Yeah, I only have 65% on 6 cents. I could get that out with the free XP, which I probably will actually, especially just on the commander, because I really don't care about these skills. But I'm going to show you guys that I do have enough XP in this tank to research the OI, so we're going to do that now. We're not going to use any free XP, and we're going to purchase this tank, sell the OI, we're going to free XP the howitzer, purchase this tank, purchase without crew, just so I can show you guys that I'm not wasting any time with this, because I know I have been lacking and not putting out as many videos lately as I would have liked, and that all has to do with school, break, you know, baseball, all that. So we'll go ahead and demount this. We'll send all these guys to the barracks, and really just show you guys that I am kind of amped up, really amped up to make this video series, because it's one of those just tanks that I'm really, or tank trees that I'm really excited to play out. I mean, oh my god, this thing is really just like the OI, but Jesus Christ, it's like a Japanese KV-2. So you just add on this little derp cannon right here, little 150, or for some odd reason 149.1 millimeter, okay, and we'll get a lot of gameplay with this tank. This tank we're probably gonna just have like a mashup, just like literally the showcase for the gameplay. It's just gonna be all derps, just one shots, just blind kills, fire kills, ammo racks, derp fest. So that really is it. I sold the other tank, so I can't really go back. But anyway, closing shit on the OI experimental. Great overall tank. Mobility is not terrible. I mean, this thing goes 30, but the other one went 40. Just imagine that on a huge 100-ton tank going 40 kilometers an hour, looking right at you, about to ram your ass. It's just, oh my god. I didn't get any ramming gameplay of that tank, but I have rammed M3 Lees and lower tier 4s to death without even shooting them. It's just ridiculous. Downhill it goes like 50. So all in all, the OI experimental was a very classic super heavy tank with a very good gun. I mean, it wasn't the best tier 5 tank by any means. Wasn't much flexible types of gameplay, but definitely if you're in the front lines as a heavy, your armor is not going to be the best at tier 6, 7, but tier 5 is doable, and it's really just, oh my god, it racked up XP. I was able to get this OI in let's see how many games. I mean, you saw that I didn't use any free XP. If we go back to the OI experimental, if I could, I played 27 games, so my average XP was like almost 650, 634, and with times twos, you could literally get done with that tank in like 20 games. I mean, I don't get why people wouldn't do it. And then you get right to this tank, the OI, which is just so fun because you just get to derp the hell out of people. So we'll definitely make this replay, review, whatever you want to call it, next. I'll probably get that out before I go back to college in a week, and then obviously the gameplay will slow down then, but I'll still be able to get out videos because I did figure out my Wi-Fi and be able to get hardwire, and you know the ping's suitable for World of Tanks there too. Obviously baseball season's going to start up, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. I'll make a few videos on that, but pretty much that's it for me, guys. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Really helps out my channel, helps me with get that YouTube revenue for college, you know, because poor college student. Wow. Pretty much that's it. Yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. Happy tanking. See you on the battlefield next time.